Hey guys, what's going on? It's Wednesday, New Comic Book Day, December 21st, and I have my haul here from four different stores, and this is about 22, 23-ish. So starting off, I have a variant from last week's Reborn number 3 that came out. I like this one as well. I found it at one of the stores that I haven't been to in about, I'd say about 8 years now. So yeah, cool to pick up one more variant for that run. Next up, we are getting into the Justice versus Suicide Squad, and I've been waiting for this one for a while. I have not been a fan of the Justice League, here. I guess for the entire run, I was really disappointed when I finally got into it. I kind of saved up about 9 of them and kind of read through, and was pretty disappointed. So I'm really hoping that this one kind of kicks off, a little bit better storyline here. So, I'm not really into Suicide Squad that much, but yeah, I'm aware of everyone and would really like to see some good storyline finally, coming from the big powerhouses of DC here. So yeah, interested in that, and let's see what happens there. Next, we get into Captain Marvel. I've never been too much of a Captain Marvel fan, but was able to pick up 2 different variants for the Zero. I think I prefer this one more. This was a Weapon X homage. So, again, I haven't been too big of a fan of her, throughout the years, and even when it was, started with the original guy, Captain Marvel. But yeah, again, I'll always read, things open-minded. Maybe I'll like this character a little bit more than what I have in the past. But yeah, interested in seeing, what they're going to do a little bit differently here with her, and see if it goes anywhere. See if I'll pick up that number 1 or not. Next, we get into Star Trek Green Lantern, and I picked up 2 different covers on this one. The one on the left was the store incentive variant, and this was the subscription variant. So, I'm a fan of both Star Trek and Green Lantern, independently. I went through that last, there's another crossover that happened. I picked up the trade earlier this year. I'm not really sure when the comic actually came out. But, I thought it was pretty good. It could have been a little bit longer. Maybe another 2 issues would have been perfect for that story arc. But, I really enjoyed that storyline so far. I do enjoy the Star Trek Boldly Go, and I know it's not selling very well. The artwork could be way better, but I really enjoy the newer Star Trek group, and this one. I'm hoping that this storyline is as good as that last one that came out. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. Next, I really loved this number 1 here. I really liked Riri, quite a bit. Super intelligent girl, didn't really fit in. Parents struggled, tried to understand her. She grew up, and she's what, the 8th smartest, I think, 8th in the world. I'm not really sure how they gauge that, but I really enjoyed that first one really more because she kind of made her own suit. I thought that it was going to be Tony Stark, here you go, and a little reveal coming here from the last comic here, but the last issue, the first issue. But I thought it was really cool, Tony's not here anymore, but he became the AI for her, and I can see him kind of mentoring her along the way. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this storyline here. Next up, we have Avengers 2.1. And, for those who didn't pick this up, this is really the Hulk, Iron Man, and Thor, the powerhouses of the Avengers. They've been around for a while, and the powerhouses kind of leave, and they kind of leave Steve Rogers to kind of pick up the pieces and form a new team. So you have the new Hawkeye, you have Wanda, and you have Pedro, and this is kind of how they kind of start becoming a team, how they start to gel, how Steve kind of picks up this role of the leader of a brand new team, right out of the gate, while these 3 were actually criminals, right before this. They made the swap over from a villain to, oh cool, original X-Men are in there. They made the swap from evil to good, and this is the first team that they try to get on while on the good side of the spectrum there. So it's been really good so far. I enjoyed that first comic, and I would really recommend this for anyone who enjoys Avengers. I've never really been an Avengers fan. I always preferred Justice League, and then in Marvel I preferred the X-Men. So I enjoy this one. Anyone who enjoys Avengers should pick that one up. So we get into Justice League, and I think this is the very last, I think 4 of 4 for Outbreak. And again, I have not really been enjoying Justice League so far. So I've read 1 through 10 all the way through. Have not been a fan. The artwork is good. It's just the storylines aren't fully there. The thing about the artwork would be, I don't feel there's enough panels. There's enough pages to tell the storyline. That's the mediocre storyline that's there. But I'm really hoping I'm going to stick with it just a little bit more. I'm going to see what happens with the crossover, and kind of make my decision then at that point in time. But again, I am really not on board with this so far. So I'm really hoping this crossover really kickstarts a couple things here. Next up we have Lake of Fire. I really enjoy this one. This is like Templar Knights versus aliens that kind of come down with means of tearing up the earth, kind of using humans as livestock. And I really enjoy the storyline so far. I think the artwork is really good. That last issue really got me when they finally got to the mothership and to go save various daughters, wives, whatever family members they had. And wow, there is a reveal in there. I was like, wow, I did not expect that whatsoever. This is really good, guys. Anyone who wants a different sci-fi adventure type storyline, if you like any aliens, versus humans type of scenarios, I really highly suggest to pick this one up. I really enjoyed that story. So next up we have Harbinger A Renegade. And, I picked up 2 of these specifically because of the coupon that's in here. And so the first 4 issues are going to have a coupon that you mail in to get that number 2. And, I'm sorry, to get the 0 that's going to be coming out. And that's, mailway is the only way to do that. And of course, after you take out the coupon, the value of the book goes down tremendously. So I'm picking up 2 of each of these so far. And, I really enjoy this one. I did not get a chance to pick up the variant with the 9 photos on there. I really like that one. This one will be, this issue of the 9 photos is with Faith. So I'm going to go find that somewhere and go pick that up. I'll show it to you hopefully next week. But yeah, again, I'm getting into the Harbinger side of things, and I really enjoy it. I'm surprised I didn't really, know about it before, or really, I guess get into it before. And it's, it's like another take of Mutants and X-Men is what it is to me. And, I really enjoy the characters, the dynamics. So this one, I'm just getting into, I have all the trades. So I guess they were a team before, but I guess they're reforming again. And, you could really tell without even reading the initial storylines, you could pick up number 1 and fully just figure out what's going on. You can figure out what the team has done in the past. Highly recommend this one for any superpower type of teammates that you may enjoy out there. Dr. Aphra. A little bit on the fence on Dr. Aphra. I didn't enjoy her that much as what other people have, and I really picked this one up because this one was a variant with the droids on there, the store incentive variant. So I probably would not have picked it up if it was just the regular cover, to tell you the truth. But I read the first one. It was better than what I thought. I will admit that. And since I picked this one up, I can go ahead and read through it, see if I like it or not. I've enjoyed everything Star Wars related, and I don't know why I couldn't connect with her. I know everyone loves her, man. I don't know what the deal was. So anyways, I'm going to read through this one and see if it changes my mind. I'll be open-minded. Next up, Lock and Key. So I've heard a lot about the storyline. I think the first 4 volumes in trades. I have not been able to read through it yet. I heard that, this was kind of like a prequel one-shot, so it didn't really matter if you read the others or not. So just because of the prequel, side of things, I went ahead and picked this one up. Again, I have the other trade, so I will be reading through the others. And, I really enjoy, dark mystery, thrillers. And I know this one had pretty good artwork to go along with it. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to reading through this one. Give me a little bit more information before I hit the actual trades of the regular Lock and Key storyline, which, everyone really talks it up quite a bit. Next up, World War X. So, I wasn't originally planning on picking this one up, but once I was at the store kind of thumbing through this one, it looked pretty good. I really enjoyed this. This artwork looked pretty good to me. And, anything with aliens I typically like. I don't know what it was. The initial synopsis didn't really capture me when I read it initially on previews. But, I don't know. Thumbing through this one, it actually looked pretty good to me. So I'm going to try to see if I enjoy this one or not, and we'll see what happens. But I didn't really hear too many people talking about this one very much. Titan Comics. Alright, next up we have Divinity 3, and I really owe this one a little shout out to Blackpool, who started commenting about Matt Kent. And again, I wasn't going to pick this one up, but I'm getting into the Valiant world. And I started after Blackpool had suggested this one. I went on previews. I found they had like the first 8 pages on the previous website, and this timeline, really got me. And started thinking about the possibilities, and so I guess that's the Russian bloodshot there. So this is like an alternate universe, I guess, within Valiant, and I know they have like one cohesive universe. So I guess this is kind of starting like the DC and Marvel, like maybe a separate universe or a parallel world or something of that nature. Not really sure, but I know this is kind of next to the current Valiant universe that we know with the Harbingers and other things. So yeah, this one looked pretty good artwork, and it looked like it had some pretty good action. And yeah, well, I'm going to look into this one, read this one open-minded, and I was actually, looking forward to this one after I kind of thumbed through it. So yeah. Grand Passion. So I enjoyed number 1, and I guess it didn't sell very well because I think only 2 comic book stores had this of 3 that I went to today, and skip that one. But it was a little twist at the very end of the first one where, you think it's the boyfriend-girlfriend doing the, I guess like the Bonnie and Clyde deal, robbing banks and things of that nature. And there's a little twist at the very end of that first episode that kind of got to me. I was like, let me go ahead and try this, see what the storyline's like. And yeah, looking forward to this one. Alright, next up is White number 2. So it was rare for me to find number 1. It was hard for me to find that one. And again, on number 2, only one of the 3 stores that I went to today had this one. I would recommend this one. I love sharks, and the storyline was pretty good so far to where, it's kind of she's kind of ditzy blonde. She's not like that, super strong heroine that they usually go for if it's a solo female. So she's a little bit ditzy, she has a sat phone that she's kind of communicating. Of course, the batteries are gone. She's in the middle of the ocean from a crash landing, and I don't want to get too far into this one because I don't want to see reveal too much, but this one has been really good. She's out there, and the great whites are all tagged, and this is like the super aggressive time of year and the mating time. So these sharks are acting a little bit abnormal, compared to what they normally would. So if you like sharks and you like thrillers, I would recommend this one just based on the number 1 that I read, which I really liked. So again, this one's really rare to find for some reason, and I'm surprised at that. Next up we have Aether, and this was another surprise because only one of the 3 stores that I went to carried number 2. Everyone picked up number 1, and I thought number 1 sold pretty well. Again, I like Matt Kent, and the artwork and the palette, the coloring on this one, on number 1, was phenomenal. It carries into number 2 here, and again, the reason why I was on the fence was the the zaniness, the quirkiness. I have a threshold for that, but the storyline was pretty good. It's kind of like Indiana Jones in a way, And at the very end, he ran into that other female, so it sounded like there's going to be like a couple people on the team. They're kind of building it up. But yeah, I'm really surprised that not many stores had this. So even the store that I found this at had one copy. So I don't know why that is. It seemed like a couple people on the YouTube community were all suggesting this, and they received it. I don't know why this is so hard to find in my city. I'm really surprised at that, but looking forward to see if I like the number 2, see if I'm going to pick up number 3 as a subscription or not. So on to Trinity, and I've really enjoyed this one so far. Number 1 was a little bit slow for me, but I really enjoyed number 2 and 3 so far. So, this is one of the better Rebirth titles in my opinion. I think quite a few share that same opinion. And, I really enjoy this Holy Trinity, on the DC side. These 3 have been pretty instrumental in almost every damn storyline that's out there. So, I'm really looking forward to this. I think this is far superior to Justice League, in my opinion. And, for people who are disappointed with Justice League, like JLA, things of that nature, I would suggest you go pick this one up. So yeah, looking forward to reading this one as well. Last up, we have the other Shark comic that was out there. So this one's Hookjaw, and the synopsis on this one, caught me right away. Again, sharks are my favorite animal. I love great whites. And the storyline looked pretty good, just a very, like a Jaws, very menacing, the single shark that's out there. Obviously he's recognizable by that thing that's sticking out of his, the hook out of his jaw. And so, yeah, this is more of a single shark, Jaws type of storyline in comparison to the other comic White that's, just multiple, great whites that are out there just kind of hunting down. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this, greatly. So that's it for this week. Should you like what you see here, please like and subscribe. And I would just like to thank everyone one more time that I was able to achieve that 100 subscriber. And to show my appreciation, I'm putting on a contest, and the giveaway is going to be $80 worth of comic value there. So please check it out. I'm looking forward to all the submittals that I'll be seeing against that in the next month or so. And yeah, so we'll see you next time.